Good morning, Copers. Doug Tunler, I'm in the Teen Spirit video. Is that true? Is that real? That'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool thing to be in. Of course, you guys know me. I'm not the world's biggest Nirvana fan, and it's not Nirvana week. It's 90s alt rock week. So I think that I want to get the Nirvana out of the system nice and early and get on to some good stuff. I have a video on my Hypocrite YouTube channel called Kurt Cobain Sucked that talks about why I don't like him. You can check that out if you want. The comments from all the shit lives on the video is really funny. They're like, "Oh, so basically he wasn't homophobic." And I'm like, "Yes. I'm glad you understood the video."
Orthodoxer sent $3. Do you know who Atlas Thug is? He is a Christian nationalist slash grow-hyper kind of guy. He has some popular Nick reaction videos and he's interviewed a lot of dissident right people. Mods on his Discord could set up an interview if you are down.
Um Never heard of him, and I don't know. Not No offense, but I'm not super interested unless his videos get like tens of thousands of views or whatever. Even then, it's not really worth it, but it's at least worth it because you're building a relationship with somebody who has clout. So maybe they can do you a favor, like they can come do your show down the road, basically. But I really I know, man. You're supposed to like help out small creators and that, and I've done that. Again, I don't know if this guy is small. I've never heard of him, but I just don't have time. I don't have time to go do an interview that's gonna get 1,000 views. I know it sounds elitist, but I'm so busy and I really hate doing it too. I did an interview with that guy, young Joe Rogan. I think he changed his name now.
His
Really
dad
nice
sent
guy.
$3. Axl Rose said it best. Kurt Cobain doesn't want to share the rock and roll with you. But GNR they came to share the rock.
That's so right. I mean, that's the thing is, and I mentioned the Axel, of course, Kurt feud in my video. It's like I never really felt the hype around Nirvana because it's like Guns N' Roses was writing like these epic like 7 minute long power ballads with piano and horn sections and stuff like that. And then Nirvana is just like this really basic music. I was more into the more complicated, the more complex arrangements and that. Again, not to be elitist, but that's just how I always felt about it. Anyway. Anyway, I did an interview with that guy and then it was fine. He's a nice guy, but then now he keeps like hounding me he like deleted it for some reason. And now he keeps hounding me to do another one. And I just like, I don't want to, I don't want to do it, dude. The funny thing about that Nirvana song "In Bloom" is like it's first of all, that's probably my favorite Nirvana song, which is why I picked it. And what's funny is that heart shape. I saw somebody mention heart shaped box, and that one's definitely up there too. They got some catchy songs. They got some catchy songs. It's not like I don't get it at all, but that song's literally about like a chud liking their music and not understanding that they as a band would hate him. And that just makes me like it more. Like it reminds me of like all the the what do they call it? Media literacy, all like that shit about like Starship Troopers and like, don't you understand they're making fun of you? You like the boys or you like Starship Troopers or whatever. And all the shit libs are like, don't you understand they're making fun of you? Like that song is making fun of chuds basically. And I'm just like driving in my car like, and he likes to sing along, just belting it, just belting it out. Fuck you, Kurt. It's my song now. All right. let's get into it. We need to talk a little bit, unfortunately, once again, about Erica Kirk, because a lot of you people are insane. You've lost your damn minds. All the Erica Kirk hate is really
The Orthodoxer sent $3 if this means anything at all. Titan is a mod on Atlas server. Atlas is legit. He's small for now at 16k subs, but he's grown a ton in 5 months from 5k to 16k subs.
I no, not really. Doesn't really change anything I just said, but thank you for the $3. Look, it's nothing personal. I love people putting their voices out there. I have encouraged constantly people to do it. I just am so busy. I'm so busy. I'm trying to like find a spare 30 minutes to go like run soccer drills with my kid, you know. Like I'm trying to find time to be a parent because I'm working like a madman. And I've already like given up basically all my video game time. I play 30 minutes a day, if that, of video games. That's like way in the evening. You know, that's from like 8:30 to 9 o'clock at night. I like unwind for half an hour. So it's nothing personal. You know, if it would mean more if it was the person reaching out to me, than just like, hey man, I can go ask him to interview you for you. It's like, no, I don't really want to do it. It's not even like him asking me for a favor. It's like you asking me to do
Cat
him a
Respector
favor.
sent $5. My buddy is a massive Metal Gear head. He told me that MGS3 Remake would be a great launch point for normies. Do you agree? And are you gonna play the new remaster?
Yes, thank you, Cat Respector. He knows Fuentes. Oh, well, I didn't. Oh, you mean he could get me an in to Fuentes? All right. Okay. Anyway, whatever. I'm too busy. Stop asking. Erica Kirk she already got a lot of criticism for forgiving her husband's killer at the memorial, but now she's getting more criticism again because she's gone and done the Charlie Kirk's podcast, the Charlie Kirk Show, and people thought she was too happy to, you know, for somebody whose husband was just died. So you have tweets like this: does Erica Kirk look like she just lost her husband and father to her children? And this is like
is the things Charlie himself.
The way this guy scrubs the timeline.
Told us where we were going.
100%. And similar with Turning Point USA, Charlie had 100%.
Told us where we were going.
He scrubs back. He's like, gotcha, bitch.
Similar with Turning Point USA, Charlie had a plan moving past 2030 that he's shared with the team and has implemented.
Gotcha, bitch. Got the corners of your mouth curling up into a half smile, which means you never loved your husband and you're a fake evil whore and you're a bad person and everything about you is fake. Your marriage is fake. You never loved your husband and you probably helped get him killed so you could take over his empire. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? I know it's trite to say people grieve in different ways, but there's a reason people say that all the time. It's because grief is like a very weird emotion that does hit people strangely, you know? I remember when I got the news that my grandpa died when I was like, I don't know, 15 years old or something. And it was kind of the first person I knew and loved who died. And I kind of didn't really feel anything. I was like, oh, that's a bummer, you know, but I didn't really like feel, I didn't feel much. And I kind of like felt bad about that, not feeling anything, but I chalked it up to like old people die, you know, it's what they do. And then I remember like 6 months later, literally like 6 months later, I was thinking about my grandpa. And I was like walking through like this kind of hallway in our basement, this like the laundry room, we called it. And I just like collapsed and started crying on the ground out of nowhere, like just totally out of nowhere. And I wasn't even like bawling or anything, but I just like had a little cry thinking about my grandpa. And I was like, oh, that was weird. I understand it's not the same thing, but it like, I don't know, man. A few things here. I don't want to harp about this all day, but like, first of all, this is the same thing that Jimmy Kimmel tried to get Trump on when Trump was like smiling 4 days after Charlie Kirk died. And Kimmel's like, oh, this guy really looks like somebody who just lost a close friend. You have to understand that there is, these people have like power personalities. They have very industrious, high conscientious personalities. So they just keep it pushing. People are like that. People like Donald Trump and Erica Kirk are like that. If you get constantly riled up and flustered over every emotional thing, I know death of a husband is a big deal, but I'm just saying in general, you learn to like just keep going. And that's how you accomplish a lot. Erica Kirk is worth like tens of millions of dollars at this point. She doesn't really need to work so hard, but it's just what industrious people do. You know, she's just like a boss bitch, basically. A lot of you people, if you got given half her money, the first thing you would do is like quit her job and quit your job, and start blowing through your money, which is why you're not gonna like have it. Should be a trad wife and not a girl boss. Well, she's a widow. But I mean, that's the thing. She's always been like a boss bitch. This is like, there's been this kind of discourse about this on Twitter too, where, you know, women were pointing out like if feminists should love Erica Kirk because she's kind of the like showing how you can have it all or whatever. And then in addition to that, to just being like a sort of obviously like industrious kind of like Sigma mindset type of person, like podcasting, being an entertainer, it's acting in part. It's of course it's partly fake. Every YouTuber you know is somewhat fake. Every streamer is somewhat fake. Every podcaster is somewhat fake.
Armored Cope is in contact with LP's grandpa in the spirit world, sent $3 grandson. It's okay. I love you.
Thank you, Grandpa. You have days where you don't want to do it, where you're in a really bad mood, but you go out, and you put on your brave face and you smile and you joke and you just do it because that's the job, basically. And the more you do that, the easier it gets. So it's just a combination of like totally normal things that absolutely require you to not reach some kind of conclusion that she didn't love her husband, which there's zero reason whatsoever to think that. By all accounts, they had a very loving marriage. Charlie Kirk spoke glowing of her quite a lot. I'll be honest, I didn't know Erica's name before Charlie died. Of course I knew who Charlie was. I was vaguely aware that he had a family, but I had no idea. I couldn't have told you her name or anything about her at all. But Allison has been following her for years, it turns out. I found out she's been following Erica on like Instagram for years because she heard Erica telling the story of how her and Charlie met. She went for a job interview. It was like love at first sight. They instantly like wanted to get married, and she thought it was really cute. So she's been following her on like Instagram and stuff like that. And like all she posts about was how much she loves her family, basically, for like the 2 years that Allison's been following her. And I had to check with Allison last night. I said, what do you make of all this Erica Kirk stuff? Because in YCSP last night, I had the clip of her forgiving the killer from the memorial the previous Sunday. And the chat is just like, this fake, she's so fake, I hate her, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, man, everyone hates her. Am I crazy? Am I the weirdo? I checked with Allison. She's like, and Allison said exactly what I thought she would say. So, guys, look, if she wants to take on a role of leading TPUSA and being a pundit and doing a podcast, of course you can criticize her if she says stupid things or things you disagree with. But attacking a grieving widow because she smiled 2 weeks or more after her husband died and then saying she's fake and never loved her husband is fucked up. Bro, it's fucked up, guys. What are we doing? What are we doing, guys? Remember what the Bible says about judging, that you're supposed to judge righteously. You're supposed to judge by the same standard that you will be judged by. So do you want to be judged for having the wrong body language at a certain time? Do you really think that's the correct standard? Shouldn't she be trad and do her? I don't know if you're just like trolling me or whatever. I mean, I know this is, I didn't actually listen to Nick's thing, but I know that's kind of like roughly what he said or whatever. But like, should she be? Yes, I guess. Some women aren't like that. Some women are boss bitches. There's always been women like this, you know, the Ann Coulters and the Michelle Malkins of the world. Some women are just like that. There's no point. There's no point like crying about it. You know what I mean? And especially somebody like Nick. If Nick thinks women should not be in politics, then he should never work with women. He shouldn't go do Pearly Things podcast and Michelle Malkin's show and shit like that. And he shouldn't invite them to like speak at AFPAC. And you know what I mean? You kind of have it both ways. You can't say, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, but also you're good at it, so I'm going to work with you. Got your tickets to Leonardo Joni? She does this thing at the end of the show where she calls guys up for like a dating game. She'll bring like one woman and like 2 or 3 guys up and ask questions. And, you know, maybe you should do it, man. Maybe you should volunteer to go up. It's pretty funny. She'll make fun of you. Anyway, all right. We're spending too much time talking about this, but I think I made my point. Let's move on. There was a crazy attack on a Mormon church yesterday. Shocking news. I didn't go to church yesterday. I'm sick. I'm actually not too bad. I'm a little under the weather. Cause I take care of myself, but like my mother-in-law was really sick. So none of us went to church yesterday, which is kind of nice. I got to sleep in a little bit, but, I saw this, this news going around Twitter, and it's just shocking. This huge fire at this church, multiple people reported dead. Of course, the initial sort of suspicion is like, this is more left-wing terror. This is some crazy troon or something like that. Although the amount of damage done is like, you're dealing with a competent, well planned out attack when you see this video of the church on fire. Turns out it was like a 40-year-old Iraq war veteran who apparently hates Mormons. So
federal and local authorities urgently investigating the mass shooting and fire that engulfed the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Sunday in Grand Blanc, Michigan.
We have an active shooter at the church, and PD's on scene saying the building is also on fire.
Investigators say 4 people were killed and at least 8 others injured.
I can confirm at this time that the FBI is now leading the investigation and is investigating this as an act of targeted violence.
Authorities say the suspect, a 40-year-old Thomas Jacob Sanford, rammed this pickup truck through the church's front doors. Then, armed with an assault rifle, opened fire at hundreds of congregants packed inside for
Nick says, yeah, Mateo, yeah, no, I get that. But obviously Erica Kirk is like one of those exceptions. And so the thing is there's no point there's no point pointing at women like that who are just obviously like career driven women and be like, oh, she shouldn't do that.
For Sunday services.
We got children inside too.
The first calls to 911 at 10:25 a.m.
Just saw a guy with a gun and he started opening fire at everybody.
Paul Kirby ran outside after hearing a loud boom.
I'm sure it'll hit me later tonight just how close I was to possibly dying. Once I got with my family, gave them a big hug, and it's
a Zogbot activated. Well, there was another veteran shooting too, and we're going to look at that as well. So it was a very weird day yesterday.
Just the fear of losing them was,
I don't know,
extremely difficult.
I don't know how you're supposed to make sense
One
of
survivor, still
stuff
in his
like
bloodstained
this,
shirt,
frankly.
telling our ABC affiliate WXYZ the suspect was wearing camouflage and shot at his car as he tried to flee.
He pointed his gun at our car and fired 3 shots. 2 of them went through our windshield and just missed me, and luckily everybody else.
Police say the suspect also set the building on fire, plumes of black smoke filling the sky. And investigators say they located suspected explosive devices linked to the suspect as well, teams working to safely clear the heavily damaged building.
We do believe that we will find additional victims once we have that scene secure.
The terror lasting an agonizing 8 minutes until authorities shot and killed the gunman, who officials say was a former Marine and an Iraq War veteran. A spokesperson for the LDS Church telling ABC News places of worship are meant to be sanctuaries of
MK Ultra. Well, yeah, that's people try to make sense of the with by coming up with insane explanations. The government activated this so that they would. Too many people were talking about left-wing terrorism, so Kash Patel pushed his button to turn random war veterans into mass killers, so that the anti-left moment. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not Kash Patel. It's deep state in the CIA. It's the anti-Trump swamp. I don't know, man. I don't understand what would make somebody hate the church. Like for me to try to make sense of it, when I try to make sense of something like this and I try to speculate about what might be going on, it's like maybe he was raped by Mormons when he was a kid. You know what I mean? Because I can't understand what would cause somebody to have this kind of murderous hatred for a bunch of fucking white people going to church.
I have no time to interview Atlas. Sleeps in and skips church. It will take 3 minutes to set up LP.
You know, the setup's not the issue, is it? Good grief, dude. Oh.
Peacemaking, prayer, and connection. We pray for peace and healing for all involved.
Our church is gone. I joined the church 38 years ago to see somebody.
Why don't you go do the fucking interview, dude?
And all this comes at an already difficult time for the church. Their president, Russell Nelson, died.
This is this problem is nobody likes to say no. Everybody wants to be nice and like not say no to people. And so people take advantage of that. And if you're just straight up like, no, I don't want to fucking do that, I'm too busy. Then we're going to guilt trip you about how it's only this much time. It's only an hour. It's only 90 minutes of your time. What do you mean you're too busy? You slept in till 8:30 on Sunday because you're sick. What do you mean you're too busy? Dude.
On Saturday, he was 101 years old. The church members.
I got out of bed at like 8:15. That's sleeping in, by the way, just so you know.
Believe he was also a prophet. So this is an all-around tough time for this church community. George.
Alex Perez, thanks.
Okay. On Fox News this morning, they published this one. Oh, this isn't. There was one about he hates Mormons. What happened to that? Targeted violence. Here, this one. FBI believes Michigan shooter hated people of the Mormon faith.
Well, this morning, houses of worship on alert after a gunman rammed his car into a packed church in Michigan, shooting at the worshipers and then setting the building on fire.
So at least 4 are dead in the attack, and law enforcement feared that the death toll could grow.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt joins us now to react from the White House. Caroline, we all watched this in horror yesterday. Is there anything that you've been briefed with that could move this story forward to find out what the motive might have been?
Well, first of all, I want to express our sincere condolences to the victims and their families and all of the members of this church who were gathering on a Sunday in the United States of America to worship Jesus Christ. And a crazed gunman rammed his truck into the church and started firing at these innocent Americans. And our hearts break. The president was very quick to put out a statement completely condemning this and assuring the American people that the FBI is on the scene. And I spoke with our FBI director, Kash Patel, bright and early this morning. He assured me and the American public that the FBI is currently executing multiple search warrants at the residences and the family homes of this perpetrator to try to get to the bottom of why he would commit such an act of evil. And the FBI is working with both state and local law enforcement, providing the full support of the federal government. And I just want to commend state and local law enforcement for their swift and incredible response. Local police officers were on the ground of this scene within minutes and neutralized this shooter, no doubt saving lives. And they should be commended. Our police officers are heroes, and this president will always respect them and support them.
They definitely were. They were there in 32 seconds, Caroline. What did the FBI director tell you about the shooter? What do we know?
32 seconds? I kind of doubt that. How did he manage to set the whole building on fire and kill 4 people and injure 8 others in 32 seconds? She means from the time they were alerted or whatever, but even that I'd be dubious about. That seems like a somewhat exaggerated claim. Just on
this Michigan community, that he is a veteran of our United States Armed Forces. He served in the United States Marine Corps in Iraq.
Aren't a bunch of the Mormons
is cooperating with the FBI, and so they are currently trying to dig in and get to the bottom of why he committed this heinous act of violence. It's unfathomable. And as the president rightfully put in his Truth Social yesterday, this appears to be yet another targeted attack on Christians. And the Trump administration is fully committed to not only investigating these crimes, but prosecuting them to the fullest extent of the law, but also working very hard to prevent them, to see if there's red flags. The FBI is going to treat those as public safety emergencies and investigate them to try to prevent such violence from taking place in our country.
You know, Caroline, we had the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We had the attempted assassination on ICE officers in my hometown of Dallas. And you just obviously just referred to the church. Did this suspect leave any indication that he was trying to target people of faith? More than the obvious of him doing it to a church on a Sunday.
Well, from what I understand, based on my conversations with the FBI director, all they know right now is this was an individual who hated people of the Mormon faith. And they are trying to understand more about this, how premeditated it was, how much planning went into it, whether he left a note. All of those questions have yet to be answered, but certainly will be answered by the FBI. I think the American people in your audience can be assured. Look at the great work that the FBI did in light of, or in the hour.
Yeah, I just don't understand it, man. Like, okay, Mormons have fucked up theology. We can basically all agree on that. But first, they seem like fairly decent people. And like, why would you hate specifically Mormons? Is this guy like a Protestant who just really hates Mormon? Like, why would you kill them though? Like if your theology tells you to kill Mormons while they're worshiping at their church, you're the one who's got fucked up theology. You're the one who should be worried about your understanding of the Bible at that point. If you think God wants you to go burn down and kill a bunch of white people worshiping at a church on Sunday morning. He got excommunicated? Is that... I haven't heard that. Is he an ex-Mormon? I saw people on Twitter saying, you know, who apparently people who understand this dynamic more than me were saying, you know, anytime a Mormon church gets attacked, the most likely suspect is an ex-Mormon.
As Christians, we should pray for the LDS, grieve with them, and point them to the true Christ.
Thank you, Papa Nurgle. I totally agree. So apparently that's like a trend that like ex-Mormons turn violent against their communities. So as a novice American, these are new things that I'm just learning. And anyway, something tells me we're not going to really get too much more out of this story. Like, I don't think this guy has like a manifesto or anything. I saw so many people speculating on Twitter, like maybe he's like divorced and his ex-wife was at the church and stuff, but I haven't, so far, no one's really got any like actual explanation for this. All right. There was the picture of his truck with the American flags was also like people were posting that right away and people were saying it's fake. That's from something that happened a month ago. A lot of people were saying that was fake and then it ended up being real, which again just goes to show that you got to take everything when you got breaking news like this, you got to take everything you see on Twitter with a grain of salt. All right. I'm just going to try to speed run through this show because just like I said, I'm just a little under the weather here. Similarly, there was another mass shooting. Somebody on a boat gunned down like this waterside restaurant, and he is also a 40-year-old war vet.
Noon tonight at 6, we're learning more about the man charged for opening fire at a building full of people enjoying their evening at a waterfront restaurant in the Brunswick County city of Southport. This happened at the American Fish Company. That's a popular bar and live music venue in the Southport Yacht Basin. The bar is closed.
Low IQ thinks Mormons killed Charlie Kirk because it was in Utah, so he went to the closest Mormon. You know what? That kind of makes sense because the guy... his family was Mormon, right? Like he was a gay furry fucker. He was a total degen, but his family was Mormon. You're right. I'm not saying that's like extremely likely, but that is plausible actually, that it was like Charlie Kirk revenge. Yeah, you could be onto something there.
Indefinitely following the shooting. Investigators say 40-year-old Nigel Edge, you see him right there facing multiple charges, including first-degree murder, 5 counts of attempted first-degree murder, and 5 counts of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, inflicting serious injury. As WRL's Laura Levine reports, investigators believe this mass shooting was highly premeditated.
Evil has come ashore in Southport, North Carolina.
A targeted attack on a safe haven. That's how investigators describe the tragedy to hit this small coastal community.
Dude, imagine you're just like at a restaurant eating seafood and then some guy on a boat drives by and kills you. What is going on, man, in the world?
The thin veneer of peace and tranquility which has enveloped this idyllic waterfront community was shattered last night by gunfire that came from the water.
Police say
I said on Friday's show that I wasn't telling people they should be scared to leave their houses, but it's almost getting to the point where you should maybe be a little bit concerned anytime you step outside into public. It just feels like rolling the dice.
The suspected shooter.
I understand statistically you're probably more likely to get in a car accident or whatever, but
40-year-old Nile Edge opened fire
stories.
with an assault rifle from a boat around 9:30 p.m. Saturday in a highly premeditated attack on the American Fish Company waterfront restaurant.
Reports came in rapidly of a boat sitting in the waterway. Reports of a subject shooting multiple patrons of the establishment.
He was later captured at a boat access point in Oak Island. 3 people died. 5 others are in the hospital. Investigators say many were tourists on vacation. The motive or intent is unclear.
The thread that connects everyone who's a victim in this case to this point just appears to be a love of having a good time and enjoying all that Southport has to offer.
Investigators say Edge self-identifies as a combat veteran with PTSD. Oak Island police revealed they've had many encounters with him in the past.
There are some minor contacts over the years, but nothing significant in his past which would give us any indication that he was capable of such horror.
The FBI searched his home and vehicles, recovering multiple weapons. As more details come to light, officials ask not to allow this unspeakable event define their small-knit community. Laura Levine, WREL News, Raleigh.
Just an awful situation there. Edge is set to make his first court appearance tomorrow afternoon. The local district attorney says the additional charges could be forthcoming. And North Carolina Attorney General Jeff Jackson as well weighing in here, commenting on Facebook today. That comment reads in part, I've been
Live Center. We want to show you now just some video of the scene here. Very quiet today, very different from what we saw last night in South. There are several restaurants in this area that have live music almost every weekend. So definitely a very scary situation for tourists and for locals alike. This was
apparently this guy was like straight up schizo. What is this? So he had a date with country singer Kelly Pickler, who apparently was like on America's Got Talent or something like that. And he would later sue Pickler after he claims she attempted to murder him. So he sued this country music singer for trying to kill him. What is this? LGBTQT QTLGDQUT eat LG large D dicks. Keys for interpretation. Anagrams. This is his lawsuit? Dude. Hold on. It's been proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Kelly Pickler attempted to murder the plaintiff in accordance with a white supremacist pedophile plan laid out in the plaintiff's social security number, and that multiple attempts have been unveiled in this discovery following suit of dates and actions taken by the LGBTQT community's genocide towards the victim of Nigel Edge, then Jean de Beauvois, in sync with Osama bin Laden equals need all in P amass O, where during the raid in Iraq, the plaintiff was urinated on after being shot multiple times and fragged by his own Marines during the Abu Ghraib scandal. Yeah, apparently this guy was like shot in the head and it was like a friendly fire situation. And he wrote a book about it called Headshot, Betrayal of a Nation, Truth Hurts, published September 11th, 2020, which has 4-star rating with 40 reviews on Amazon. So actually kind of impressive, that his book's not total trash. I don't know how easy or hard it is to fake Amazon ratings on your book, but this is one of the reviews. I battled with writing this for many days. I have no choice. As your ex-sister-in-law who has known you since I was 9 years old, I cannot speak on anything other than what I saw with my own eyes. What What I do not appreciate is you putting a picture with me claiming I was celebrating anything other than the fact that a man I respected and looked up to my entire life was going to survive the traumatic injuries he sustained while overseas. So I guess there's a picture of this woman in the book being happy, and he like accused her of like being happy he was shot in the head. Sounds like he was really paranoid guy and unwell. Wait, is that it? Okay, I guess that's it. I thought I had more on that guy, but no. All right, guys, are you ready? Are you ready to get Hollyhanded? Are you ready to watch a bunch of libs get the Hollyhand? Because Brilyn Hollyhand is here to pick up the torch and carry on Charlie's legacy.
What's up, America? Brilyn Hollyhand here, about 30,000 feet up. We are on the way to Arkansas. So everybody in line at the University of Arkansas to kick off my 10-stop campus tour. We are coming to you right here, right now. Stay in line.
The Orthodoxer sent $3. I'm 16 minutes behind. That was a fake Orthodoxer cat. First time getting impersonated on here.
I was wondering. I was like, man, is the Orthodoxer really that fucking retarded, or is somebody trolling me? That did occur to me. You know, look, man, I gotta say, hats off to whoever sent that, because that was perfectly executed with like it was like believable enough that I was kind of defaulting to that being a real chat. Okay, all right, very funny trade roll.
We have gotten a third room because we have sold out this campus stop 3 times, but we are coming to you. We will fit you in. Students will get priority, but we will make it happen. I cannot be more excited.
All right, this tweet has like almost 40 million views. A lot of people reacted to this. Nobody had heard of this guy. Literally nobody ever living. No living person had ever heard of this guy prior to this tweet. And now everybody knows who he is. A lot of people were criticizing the fact that he was on a private jet as being like, you know, it's elitist and how are blue collar people gonna like relate to you, which I think is like a really cringe thing that people on the internet do. That this thing of like, you can't be rich. If you're rich, you're bad. And you should at least pretend you aren't rich if you are, kind of thing. That's like a really lame criticism.
Soul Divider sent $3. Many vets come back crazy because they see kids blown up with 50 caliber rifles. That's your MK Ultra conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I mean, that does seem to be sort of the case, but I mean, I don't know, man. It's so hard to make sense of, you know, why would you kill just innocent people? Children were in that church. You know what I mean? Children could have been at that restaurant. I just can't understand it. And it's like, it's evil, but it also just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. Like what, here's the thing, right? We have this killing of Irina Zarutska, and we're all angry because there's like an obviously like racial component to it. Now libs are going to be looking at this and being like, see, this is just what crazy people do. And it's a little bit hard to argue with that when you have 2 white guys go psycho on the same day and murder random innocent people that they don't know. It's a little bit hard to argue that there's just fucking crazy people out there who are ticking time bombs, who like there's no way to understand it. Obviously, I still think that regardless of if we can't save everybody, we can still save a lot of people with segregation. You know, or sending all the blacks back to Africa or something like that. Like, we can still save some lives, but it is a little bit, when something like this happens, it's like, damn, There really just is crazy, violent motherfuckers, and it's not necessarily racial or this or that or the other thing. It's not necessarily like I don't know, it's just hard. It's hard to make sense of. Anyway, I'm sorry I don't have a better take than that. So I don't know what to tell you, man. Maybe if more information comes out, we'll be able to make more sense of it. It's just fucked up.
Shift Demeanor sent $10 on Rumble. Lots of Mormons in the military. Maybe his service soured him against them.
I mean, again, okay, sure, maybe, but what, like, this is why I said, like, if you told me he was raped by Mormons, I would be like, okay, I guess, you know, like hanging out with Mormons in the army and they're kind of like annoying dickheads. That doesn't seem like enough to make you go commit mass murder. It's just you know, like even the Charlie Kirk thing. I again, that seems like a possible explanation if we're looking at it through the lens of like an insane person, of a really deranged person. I mean, this guy had he had like a wife and a kid, right? Or an ex-wife and a kid. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, man. Like I feel like it's too easy to just write people off as crazy. Like that's too simple. Because obviously, and that's why I point out the fact that he had a wife and a kid. You know, he had a military career. It's like this guy was clearly competent enough to function in society for most of his life. And then what? He just suddenly snaps and decides to murder a bunch of people? It's fucking weird, dude. Maybe the MK Ultra shit is the most logical explanation. I understand why people kind of instantly gravitate towards that stuff, because it would explain it. If he's an MK Ultra activated agent,
$50 day out with the family.
Whoa!
Catch the replay. Dropping into Drop-a-Dono. Stay safe out there, everyone.
Yo, thank you so much, Wandering Neanderthal. Man, that guy's really, it's one of the top dogs. That would be an explanation that would make sense. Oh, he was brainwashed by CIA spooks who completely fucked his brain with LSD to the point where they can make him do whatever they want. Yeah, that's the 5G. Like, that is crazy. That's its own kind of craziness to believe that, but I also get it because it makes sense. It's an actual explanation that where everything like comes together and you're like, okay, I understand what happened here. So this is like the most astroturfed kid person anyone's ever seen. I know I tend to make fun of like people who say astroturfed and stuff like that, but that's because it gets used a lot against people who are just independent grassroots, you know, pundits and creators who become successful. This kid is like obviously being extremely astroturfed right now. And the good news is basically nobody is falling for it. So he's trying to make himself out as being like Charlie Kirk's protege and his mentor, and people have been calling him out for that. So here he provides some proof that he did know Charlie Kirk.
Hi, America. Hi, America. I'm Brilyn Hollyhand, editor-in-chief of the Truth Gazette. This is the big reveal. We are here with Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens from Turning Point USA. We just sat down for an exclusive interview before they speak tonight in Tuscaloosa, Alabama for the 2018 Alabama GOP Summer Dinner. We discussed the Trump administration, fake news media, 2020 elections, and so very much more. Make sure you watch. The interview's coming very soon.
This guy's great, by the way. Big stuff. He's great.
Thank you. Love it. Hi, America.
Hey, this is Brilyn. Thank you. What's up? Please call me Charlie. You are doing great work. Keep it up. That was in 2018. And then again in 2020, you are terrific. Keep the hustle and the focus. You are going places. It's not a lot, but it's more of a connection to Charlie Kirk.
Thank you. Obviously, huge fan, support of you and your work. Value our friendship and all the projects you've done.
You do a great job.
Looking forward to more.
If you are relentless as you are at 15, we'll all be working for you. I'll tell you, that's non-stop. I know grit when I see it. It's good.
Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'll say this. Last time we sat down in the same place, you were a young single bachelor.
Oh, yeah.
This time you brought your wonderful wife.
Right there. Everyone go get married.
Next time maybe you can bring the whole family.
There you go.
So look, we're looking forward.
Next time we're in Tuscaloosa.
Charlie was has very huge shoes to fill, not just because he was a man with a large shoe size, but because legitimately nobody can replace him.
I feel like our whole society is an MK Ultra program at this point. Without the Holy Spirit there is no hope of navigating all this.
Exposing critical. I don't know what that means. Thank you, Jason. Jason Leatherland. I know what you mean, man. I know. This is why I think I want to just log off and just go, I don't know, man. Just be a mailman. Just want to walk around carrying a bag of mail. Oh, man, I should have joined the Amish. Yeah, something tells me we are going to be seeing more of this kid, whether we want to or not. People pointed out that the day Charlie Kirk died, an hour after his death was announced by Donald Trump, which I'm assuming is a little bit after his death was announced elsewhere. But this kid was on Fox News basically like talking about how he was going to take over Charlie's role.
It's also an incredible story that you share with us really quickly, Brilyn, about fourth grade, a podcast. That's incredible. And Charlie Kirk appears on your podcast. Tell me about the role he played for you as a mentor.
Yeah, again, it's somebody that didn't have to do that. He was on Fox News every other hour that year. He didn't have to make time for me as an 11-year-old with this upcoming podcast in the fourth grade to come on and join me, but he did. And not only was it a one-time thing, I've interviewed hundreds of people that I've never talked to again. He stayed a mentor, and he texted me up until this week when I was on another Fox show congratulating me. Like, he didn't have to do that. He could have viewed me as competition. He could have said, oh, I'm not going to give this kid time, but he did. And what I think the larger theme here is the left loves to preach tolerance. They love to preach tolerance. And in situations like this, that's the last thing we're seeing. The media coverage on the other side of the aisle is not like this. I was just scrolling through channels. And obviously the person that took this live, this is heartbreaking, Will. And I really hope, if anything, that people get off the sidelines. This weekend, I'm going to a youth rally in South Carolina. And you better believe that I've already had my team shoot me text saying, Brilyn, you really need to caution this. You really need to think about not standing in the middle of a park and speak to the next generation. But I am more energized than ever to carry on this torch, to carry on this legacy, because that's what Charlie would have wanted. He would have wanted us to continue to fight the good fight, just like he did.
No doubt, Brilyn. No doubt. Thank you so much.
So basically, Charlie Kirk is, grappling with his relationship, bridging the gap between his boomer Zionist donors and his young radicalized audience, and getting red-pilled on Israel and becoming truly America. And he dies, and then you get this it's like they rebooted Lindsey Graham. You know what I mean? You get this oh shucks evangelicalism wrapped up in a kid who's just like the perfect little package. $210,000 followers, 0 engagement prior to September 10th. So, I mean, in all fairness, this does when you go back 5 years in this, it kind of flattens everything out. It's when you have a huge spike, but it does show some little interest prior to recently, but obviously huge, massive spike here with this guy. All Right. This guy Aiden says he's kind of done the deep dive on him. Brilyn Hollyhand, who has been riding the Charlie Kirk protege moniker, was never mentioned by Charlie Kirk, TP, or his producer. Yeah, not everything happens on a tweet, right? We did see Charlie Kirk obviously knew who he was. But there's some more here. So your book was ghostwritten. Your RNC spot was paid for because your dad is a donor who made his money off Section 8 housing. This is kind of a big one. The dad, their family's like wealthy from government contracts for public housing, which is basically like, you know, welfare. Like you're basically making money off the welfare program. It's not exactly a conservative way to earn your wealth. You get on shows because you beg producers to go on. I have the receipts from that too. You are a made in the lab, wholesome Southern guy who is being forced on us to support a moderate form of politics. I haven't heard the kid's any of his political positions yet. I haven't heard him talk about politics. Everything I see is like just him being like friendly, basically. But you can kind of guess just the vibe. You can kind of guess that it's like it's going to be a very moderate, like pro-Israel stance that he's going to have. You're excited to carry on the legacy of your dead mentor an hour after he died, despite him never mentioning you. That legacy, Israel first, politics, and golly shucks evangelism. It's truly disgusting that you never took an issue with any of this. The ghostwritten Astroturf book, the fake moniker, the scripted talking points. Then you had to drag Charlie Kirk into this. You had to push this narrative. You were carrying a legacy. You kicked off by being as unrelatable as possible. Mystery Grove says, hearing from a reliable source that Hollyhand actually barely knew Kirk at all and didn't work with him behind the scenes, and that his media people just made up the lie that he was a Kirk protege to capitalize on the murder. I mean, the thing is even his evidence that he presented of knowing Kirk was showed a very superficial relationship. A couple of text messages, a little like, you know, TV spot that he did where Kirk's like, this kid's going places. They probably did talk a little bit more than what was shown there, or else Kirk wouldn't have said that. But what has been presented just seems very superficial. Oh, wait, where's the low T1000? Oh, I missed the funniest part here about this. Somebody made like an AI thing of them manufacturing this kid in a lab, and then somebody else said low T1000. Here we go. Introducing the low T1000. I don't like Stu Peters at all, but the video evidence destroys the anti-conspiracy narrative. Is this, hold on.
Tyler Robbins.
Oh, it's only 3 minutes. Okay. All right. You know what? I'll bite. Okay, guys. Let's see.
Tyler Robinson didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's Israeli security detail killed Charlie.
Is this going to be now the guy in the camo who like was like scratching his arm or like fixing his lapel? People are so obsessed with the idea of like, look, you can see this guy giving the signal, and now there's like 6 different people who have been identified as giving signals. And it's like, I don't know, man, maybe sometimes you just like scratch your arm. You know, I don't know. They can't all be giving signals. That seems a bit excessive.
Kirk, and Charlie Kirk's assassin is caught on tape. Blake Bednar has brought us this video. We'll break it down. Take a look at this. Here it is from the wide angle. Watch Charlie Kirk's right side of his t-shirt. Watch the...
So, is it this guy in the white? Who's supposed to be the killer here? Because I think I've seen this theory too, that he was shot by some guy like standing to his side who like did like an underarm shot like this without looking.
Lavalier lapel mic. Do you see it explode? Let's bring it in just a little bit closer. Watch this. Put it in a freeze frame. That is the explosion from Charlie Kirk's lavalier lapel mic. Want to see it again? Bring it in closer. Remember when we told you that that was absolutely an exit wound? Yeah, it is. Check the trajectory of the round.
Guys, you can't be serious. You Okay, so this is the mic shooting him in the neck. Is what I'm supposed, and I'm supposed to think this is like irrefutable proof. This is what I mean by analyzing frame by frame this grainy footage
that was deployed from that lavalier lapel mic. That went directly from Charlie Kirk's lapel. That went directly from underneath Charlie Kirk's white t-shirt.
So his mic is over here. It goes around over to this side and then out like that. Where's the part? Where's the entry wound? Okay, that's the exit wound. Where's the entry room? Skip to 212. Okay.
In the brown shirt with the sunglasses act alone. We have video now from Destiny that shows the handoff of this remote detonator.
Destiny? You know what? I was wrong. Irrefutable proof. Somebody might have handed something to somebody. That is not normal. So the security detail, when the guy gets shot and one security guy, I'm assuming, goes and says something to the other security guy. You're right. That's not normal. No, I'm sorry. I'm not convinced. There's so many plausible explanations. Play it again.
Of this remote detonator.
Grab something, probably who this guy right here, hold on.
Was the handoff of this remote detonator.
He didn't grab anything. He slid over the table and then he reached into his back pocket like he was going to pull something out. You can't see him grab something off the
sunglasses
body.
Act alone. We have video now from Destiny that shows the handoff of this remote detonator.
It's not there. He slides over the table. Dude. there's no proof that he grabbed something there. You're on Team Exploding Mike. Okay. Guys, I'm just gonna call it a day, you guys. I'm just not feeling it, and it's been an hour. Remember when the show used to just be an hour? This story. I do want to touch on this story because this one's crazy. You remember how we talked about the there was that guy who was like the director of the Department of Education, and like I think it was in Minnesota, and he ended up being an illegal immigrant. The same thing has happened now with a school superintendent who is an illegal immigrant. Fisher King says, this entire story reads like a bad joke. The guy's a complete fraud and he's in charge of schools. Here is how Time Magazine is reporting it. ICE arrested a beloved school superintendent. The community rallied behind him. You know what, guys? I'm taking a week off. I'm going to take this week off. I was supposed to anyways, and I thought I would just like plow through it, but I'm really like, I just need a break. I need a break. The last week of September is supposed to be my week off according to my schedule. So this isn't like weird. It's just, I was kind of not going to do it because I slacked off quite a lot during the Twitter hack thing. But I have to anyways, because I have to go spend some time with my daughter. But my plan was to do next week. I forgot to mention at the start of the show, my plan was going to be to take next week off. But I just need a break, man. I need a break. So I'm going to take this week off and then I'll be back. Maybe I'll do a YCSP. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the week goes. We'll see how my schedule goes. Thank you. I will be back on next week. All right. You guys take care. I will catch you on the flip side. Peace out.
I was born in a prison with no hope for escape. I got used to the silence as I stuck in my cage. You cannot miss what you have never seen before. But deep inside you know there must be more. You cannot miss what you have never seen before. But deep inside you know there must be more. But I could not follow. It was a language I didn't know. I seen a light and it used to blind me. Was it real or just a dream? No, you cannot miss what you have never seen before. Deep inside you